It's me again. Well, what a 24 hours it's fucking been. Crumbs. Uh, yeah, you guessed, yeah. And before you say it, you're right, that is another chin. I've now got two chins. Apparently, that's what you get when you're 6 weeks sober. Two chinny chin chins. Um, yeah, fine. Don't care. Not interested. Before, I was as skinny as a rake. Now, I've gone the other way. I'm Eric Bristow's brother, the dart player. That's okay. Yeah, what a fucking... Listen, I mean, I haven't been sharing this because, I mean, this isn't supposed to be a confessional. I'm not here to fucking, get myself kited off. So, hence the reason I talk about alcoholism and addiction and keep it to that, because, after all, the channel's called Recover Together. It's not called, My Escapades, is it? That nobody wants to fucking hear about, to be quite frank. And I don't even want to hear about them, to be honest. But there's something I've got to share because it's an extraordinary thing. So, picture the scene. I'm in Bali, come there 10 weeks ago for a shitpot company that, didn't know what the fuck they were doing. And, after 10 weeks, got fuck all. Literally haven't done a deal. It's a load of old rubbish. And I'm now 5 weeks overstayed my visa. If you get to 60 days, which I was actually 6 weeks overstayed, 44 days actually. I had 16 days left. If I hadn't have got the money in time, which by that time was about £3,000 English, I would have been put in prison until I did have it. And it's still going up, by the way, while you're in prison. So that's not a substitute, although whatever. Yeah, so obviously every day of the last 5-6 weeks sober that I've had, that's been on my mind. Every time I go out on the bike, I think, oh, what if I get a tug? Everything. It's on my mind all the time. Now, you might say, well, you haven't been sharing it. I have, just not on fucking, international YouTube. It's just, the reason is, it's like, I think there's certain things that should be kept to a sponsor or someone, a tight-lipped individual who is not going to open their north and south and drop you right in the old acky poo. So yeah, that's that. So I haven't shared it, but I need to share now because something amazing has happened. And and I'm aware before I share this that there'll be mixed views on what course of action I should have took, but I took the course of action I took. So when you're saying, well, you should have done that, I mean, you're only fighting with reality, aren't you? Same as me, isn't it? It's not true just for me, is it? It's true for you too. That when something happens, if I'm saying, well, that shouldn't have happened, all I'm really doing is arguing with reality, because it has happened, hasn't it? So really what I'm really saying is that reality isn't to my liking. Acceptance is the key, so they keep telling me. So just bear that in mind when you're making your old assessment. Right, so I'm 6 weeks overstay now. It's getting to a fever pitch in my head, obviously. I'm trying to deal with it. I'm trying to put one foot in front of the other. Obviously, I'm clean and sober, going to my meetings, doing meditation, blah, 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 all the rest of it. And so my boss sends me a couple of $100 to buy some mini routers, because the Wi-Fi is garb. So I was going to get a couple of mini routers, give them to the boys, so they can work from home. Anyways, so he sends me it by Bitcoin. Now, in Bali, there's a Bitcoin center where you go in and you show them your phone with your Bitcoin account, your blockchain account, and then, you send the coin to them, they give you the cash. It's basically like a conversion place to convert your coins into cash. And that's what, he does. So he did that. Anyway, so I'm queuing up and, it's only a couple of $100. So I'm in there. I go, first of all, you have to sit down and do the transaction, then you go to the cashier and she gives you your money. I guess you're more or less guessing what I'm going to say next. Well, you've got an idea, haven't you? Because if you're anything like me, I like to jump ahead to the story and think, well, for fuck's sake, mate, get on with it. But I'm not going to. So it was a lovely day that day. No. So I went to the counter and she was supposed to give me 2 million rupiah. It was about 110 quid, something like that, to buy these routers. Instead, she gives me 32 million rupiah instead of 2 million. She gives me 16 times the amount of money I was supposed to have, right? And I just watched her count it out, and I've put it in my pocket, and I've walked out of there, and I thought, So I drove home as fast as I could. Well, I didn't go out of there fast. I walked as very nonchalantly as I could, try not to raise suspicion. you know, because at this point, obviously, they've given me someone else's money, haven't they? It's not my money, is it? So, you know, I'm thinking any minute now they're going to go tap on the shoulder, hey, sorry about that, and I'm going to think, yeah, fair enough. But I mean, well, let's backtrack a little bit. It's important that I backtrack. I'll tell you why. For me, anyway. Up to the run up to that, I was in debate, a lot of debate about whether I should manage this team or work from home. The work from home option was a much slower option. With only 16 days before I could possibly face incarceration because of the overstay, I thought it might be better to have the team, because obviously 4 guys is better than 1. But I also knew that it might place my recovery in jeopardy because of the stress involved and the fact that I've got to chase backwards and forwards, listening to their bullshit on a daily basis, you know. So I knew the best option for a successful recovery was, because in early days, let's have it right, it's touch and fucking go, innit? Let's have it right. I don't give a fuck what steps you're doing. It is still touch and go, because you can stop doing the steps. The steps do work. It's not their steps that don't work, because it's us. You know, I can guarantee the steps work, but I can't guarantee that I'm going to do them. That's the only thing. And you say, well, why can't you guarantee? Because I'll tell you why. Because I'm lazy, scared of them not working. I'm scared of them working. You know, scared that I'm not good enough and not worthy. You know, I'm not worthy today. Yeah, so, you know, so where was I? Fucking lost myself. Yeah, so, you know, it was a tough decision to make, because on the one hand, I know that if I go in and manage the office, 4 guys will probably just produce, well, obviously 4 times quicker than I can do on my own. But then you see, what in that equation, what I'm not really allowing for is the power of you know, life itself, my higher power, the source, of which I am connected to at the moment. If I'd simply just stopped drinking, I don't believe I'm connected to anything. Because, well, how? Just take away the alcohol, I'm still fucking mad as can be, ain't I? See, I don't suffer from alcohol, I suffer from alcoholism, you know, which is a state of mind and body, isn't it? You know, if you don't know, it's you know, the allergy of the body and the obsession of the mind. So that's what I suffer with. It's an illness. It's not something, you know, that I'm using as an excuse for acting like a CUNT. You know, it's an illness. They say, I think in the medical journals, it says an illness you can define it if it's an illness or not by its symptoms. An illness has symptoms. Well, what's my symptoms? Well, I drink when I don't want to, and when I start, I can't fucking stop. So there's my symptoms. And there's also other symptoms as well of alcoholism, isn't there? There's restlessness, irritability, discontent. There's fear, abnormal fear, there's obsessional thinking, there's delusional thinking. All sorts of thinking is the issue here. So, you know, it was a very tough decision to make, because obviously fear at 6 weeks sober hasn't been replaced entirely, is it? Not that it ever will be, by faith. It's been replaced a little bit, but it was a real tough decision to make. Anyways, I consulted with the people that have known me forever, not the ones who know me for 2 minutes and think they know me, and, you know, they've got all the right answers for me, because, don't get me wrong, they mean well, but just generally most have mean. And their view was, listen, you're going to have to trust in this thing that's keeping you sober, or helping you to, nothing can keep me sober unless I want to, and I put in the action, by the way. So it is a two-way team. It is a two-team situation. You know, God can't work without my willingness, can he? Or whatever God is. That life itself, the power that's inside me can't be tapped into unless I'm doing something to tap into it. It's always been there, it's just I've decided to tap into the old 4B2 instead. So, you know, the advice I was given was, well, look, you've been looked after so far, down to your efforts. Carry on doing your efforts. Do you not think, you know, that you'll be looked after again? And as much as I hated making the decision I did, and it filled me with fear and dread, I decided to take the option of working from home and not running this team, which would give me a better chance of recovery, of continuous recovery. That was on the Monday morning at 6 o'clock in the morning that I made that decision. Yesterday. So, got on my knees and I prayed, and I said, look, I don't know if I'm doing the right thing here or not, but just help me to maintain the decision and don't change my mind when, you know, things don't happen by this time tomorrow, you know, because I want instant things to happen to prove that there's not actually, and that's the whole thing, isn't it, about drinking and taking drugs. I had no patience. I didn't believe that things were going to happen. So when it didn't happen in 5 minutes, I thought, oh, fuck this, do something else. I think, do you know what I mean? There's no real understanding of that things don't happen in 5 minutes in life. They take time and effort. And sometimes you put time and effort in and they don't happen at all. And for an alcoholic, fuck me, that's a terrible situation, isn't it? Because we start thinking, well, hang on a minute, I put all this effort in and nothing's happened at all. Sometimes things ain't supposed to happen for your own benefit. That's enough. Listen, let's not get into that because that's another hotbed of debate, isn't it? So Monday morning at 6 a.m, I made the decision to work from home. 6 hours later, I'm being given 16 times the amount of money. Get this is the most astonishing part. It was exactly the amount I needed to pay the overstay and flight. Sit with that for a minute. 6 hours after making the right decision to trust God, life, which is God. Let me change that sentence. Fuck it. Let's change it. Let's say it properly. 6 hours after deciding to trust life, life gives me the money to pay the overstay and the flight. Now, I don't know if these sort of things are happening to you, but they're the sort of things that happen to me. And although well, anyway, listen, so obviously, let me just say first of all, obviously there was the whole debate of whether should I give it back, should I not give it back, blah, blah, blah. Is it life's way of saying, okay, go on, we can see that you're able to make the right decisions, we're going to give you the opportunity to make it now. And get yourself into a position where permanent recovery is actually a viable option, because you're making, even though they're small, you're making decisions that are in keeping with somebody that wants to stay clean. Because it's all right saying, well, I want to be clean and I want to do this and I want to do that. Well, I want to be a lot of things, but because I ain't got off me fucking arsehole to go and do them, it's not going to happen, is it? So if you want to be clean and you want to be sober, then you have to take certain actions and keep taking them, even if you don't want to. Because that's what someone does who wants to get a certain outcome, isn't it? Instead of talking about it, talk is cheap, and so I had the whole 6 or 7 hours. At one point I said, well, why does God have to send me these situations? A few hours ago I was content with just going down there, getting me a couple of $100, buying the boys the router and going to work as usual, just working from home. I'd made the right decision, I felt good about that, and I was a bit scared about the outcome, but I thought, fuck it, hand it over. And then 6 hours later, I'm then having the conversation. Well, maybe the devil sent the money. I know, fucking mental, isn't it? These are the sort of things that go on in my head. I had to analyse. I had to look at it properly, though. I had to think. Well, it's like saying, "Oh, this is from God." Or I think sometimes we underestimate the power of the other geezer. And we don't talk about him enough, really. No, we don't want to admit his existence. But I mean, why not? We can't have hot without cold, can you? You're kind of up without down. Why not? I don't believe that the other fella's got the power that God's got. No way. Not God outside of me, religion's God inside. I don't believe that this can overrule this if certain things are done. I think it can if certain things ain't done. But if certain things are done, certain steps are taken, certain measures are taken and practiced, it can overrule the thoughts of the head. The love of the heart can overrule the fear of the mind. I believe that. So anyway, and I thought, well, should I give the money back? It's not my money, I'm stealing and everything. I thought, well, I'm not really stealing, am I? Because I went in there, they made a mistake, didn't they? Well, some would say, well, then I asked one guy and he said, well, if you find it on the street, it's you can keep it. And if you find it in a wallet, you've got to give it back. I thought, that doesn't answer the question, does it? Because neither of them things happened, did it? So, I mean, that wasn't actually an answer, was it? Typical. But, whatever. He meant well. I just sort of get the gist of what he's saying. I knew whose it was, so I should give it back. But I thought, well, if it was $1,000, I would have given it back, 100%. But it wasn't $1,000, was it? It was exactly the right amount of money for the overstay and a flight. So I took it, and I'm now in the Philippines. And I'm amazed that my higher power has tapped into my situation and presented me with a way out, so that now stress doesn't have to be felt, and now I can crack on even stronger than I was before. If that's actually a reality, you know, you can be, you know, you might think you're stronger than you are, but if you really break it down, you're just what you are, aren't you? You know, your head says, well, you're doing better today. That's only because you're looking at things from different angles, that's all. They're exactly the same fucking day, aren't they? Most of us have the same day over and over and over again, don't we? It don't fucking change that much, does it really? You know, we go to work, we see our families, we go to meetings, I mean. So why is it then one day's worse than the other? It's only the way we're looking at it, isn't it? Then we have a few days looking at it like shit, feel like shit, realise that it's the way we're looking at it, maybe look at it from another way, and the next day, fuck me, we feel better again. You know, so, yeah, I mean, I was sent the exact amount of money for the overstay, $2,500, including the flight, and I took it. And now I'm not on overstay anymore. You know, there is a question of whether I'll be able to go back to Bali or not, and at this moment in time, it's not something I need to worry about because I'm not going back there today. So that's a question for the future. You know, yeah, I don't know what to say really. It blew me away that yesterday morning I'm genuinely concerned about this situation, and today we've been removed, and all I did was make the right decision about what to do. And I can't tell you enough that what I actually believe, therefore it's my reality, whatever you believe becomes your reality, that I made the right decision. Life saw that I was capable of making the right decision and gave me a way out. I mean that for sure. I don't know what message I'm sharing today, whether you're getting anything, you got anything out of it or not, or you can make any sense of it or whatever. You know, listen, I'm not inviting different angles of what I should and shouldn't have done, because I've already done what I've done. So it's fucking pointless, isn't it? You telling me what you think I should have done, because I've already done it. Had I been asking you this before I'd done it, then obviously I'm asking for a thing. And it's not that I'm scared of you saying to me, well, I've done the wrong thing and all that. It's not that. It's just already happened, isn't it? Why comment on something what's already happened? It's nonsense, isn't it? You know, so, you know, yeah. So now I no longer have that risk of working in the office where they might be on the gear, they might not. I might feel like I've got to live up to my old, and all that shit. You know, I'm back to basics. I'm, working on my own. I've got a good deal, blah, blah, blah. Meeting tonight, where I am now. I know the meeting's here. I was in these meetings in start of November. I've got 2 weeks clean, but I wasn't really connected, really, to be honest with you. I wasn't, do you know what I mean? And so, yeah, fucking amazing, absolutely amazing. I mean, I'm not recommending. It's not about recommending or unrecommending it. I'm just saying that's what happened. It's fucking unbelievable, really. Yeah, there I am. So, I don't know how many days it is now. I can't fucking think about it. I think was it Tuesday? I think it might be 44 or something. 40. Sunday night it was 42. Could be 44 days sober today, which is a good thing. It's a miracle, and I've got my higher power, my life, on my side. Yeah, so, I'm going to go get my head down now for a little bit. Got to work tonight. I'm chilled, I've had something to eat, good. Meeting tonight, then work later on. This is what 43 days sober looks like. You take care. If you're happy and you know it, shake your meds.